Hello, everyone. Welcome to Skin School. Skin School, we started during the pandemic, and it's for everybody who wants to learn more about skin and overall health. And I'm just so happy to do that because it brings me back to my origin. I'm a medical doctor. I founded the Sturm brand many years ago based on anti-inflammatory research, and I find this reflects totally our preferred lifestyle these days to protect ourselves from environmental stressors, inflammation, and everything which could harm us, and especially our skin. And today, I'm really excited to talk to Winnie, a very, very super cool, very super cool supermodel, entrepreneur, founder of her own sunscreen skincare brand, super cool. And thank you for joining us today, Winnie.
Thank you for having me, Barbara. I'm so excited to be joining the School of Skin and learning so much from you today.
I'm super excited to talk to you. We both kind of lost our voices a little bit. Cool. So let's talk about everything: skin, health, entrepreneurship. You founded your own skincare brand based on your experience as well and what you learned. And you just came from Aspen doing a speech on all of this. Is so exciting, and it's a lot of work, no?
A lot of work, but it's so rewarding because it's a product that I've been working on for years. And you know this too, because your products, I know you put so much into, and I use them myself. I've been using them for so long since I met you. I met you when I was walking for Victoria's Secret, and they sent me to you to perfect my skin, to make sure that when I was on that runway, I had amazing skin. So I've learned so much from you over the years. But I have worked so long on Cay Skin, about 3 years through the pandemic, and making sure that this was something that really spoke to me. Also, being that it came from a real experience that I had at a photo shoot where I was burnt so badly because no one on set wanted me to wear SPF.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of times it doesn't work on darker skin tones. And I know you know this very, very well because you make products for darker skin tones, for lighter skin tones. A lot of times SPF does not work for a lot of different people. And that was what made me want to create Cay Skin and make sure that everyone had SPF to protect their skin and also feel amazing wearing it.
So it's very good that you really address specific skin needs, and darker skin tones, as I also researched, has very specific needs. And one of them is inflammation. So it's very, very much prone to inflammation more than any other skin tone, just because of the appearance of melanocytes. And these melanocytes, they're like little umbrellas. They come up when you're in the sun. And then what is also a problem happens is that, if you have a cut or whatever, you get something called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So whenever your skin is disrupted, that's what happens. So while you, through those melanocytes, are way more protected than, Caucasian skin tones from sunburn and anything like that, you still get this pigmentation issues, hyperpigmentation when you have a pimple or any other disruption of your skin barrier. So therefore, it's very important to wear sunscreen. And also the formation of the skin is different. So not every sunscreen works for the same skin tones. And that's why I think it's really smart of you to address that specifically for darker skin tones. And, having this incident with the burn, especially with your skin condition, which is, having no melanocytes in some areas and lots of melanocytes in other areas. So you have to deal with kind of both, being very sensitive, and then on the other hand, getting hyperpigmentation or.
Yeah. No, that's also something that spoke so true to me in creating a line that was SPF based, is that my parents have always made me know how important it is to utilize SPF and how important it is to protect my skin. As you said, like I have a lot of melanin in some areas, which can still get sun damage, and I can still get, skin cancer. So many things can come from sun damage, but also I have areas on my body where I have absolutely no protection from the sun. So that was really a driving force in me creating SPF that worked on all skin tones, because I also have multiple skin tones and I wanted it to work on my skin and all skin.
So how I know it's very, very complicated with all those different areas. For example, in Germany, we have to have a certain formulation of sunscreen. In America, we cannot use the filters we use in Europe. So we have to have a different formulation. So sometimes you would ask, because, I have a sunscreen as well, there's sun drops. So sometimes, we
Which
have
I
different
use
formulations.
too.
Yeah, we have different formulations in America than in Germany. So it's very tricky to do sunscreen. So that probably took you also a while, no?
Yeah, very, very long time. So many different places, so many different people around the world would love to use Cay Skin. And it makes me so happy because it's the, people that I've made it for that want it, but also there's so many more rules and regulations all over the world for SPF. And I can't wait to get it in so many different places all over the world. Right now, it is available in the US because that is where it
Oh,
is
you're on
tested.
Sephora, no? So that's amazing.
In Sephora, yes.
Congratulations. It's great. And there's so many skincare brands out there now, and it's kind of exhausting because what my issue is a little bit like, it's kind of a trend. Let's do our own skincare brand, yay! And we create more trash, and everybody's talking about sustainability, but then we create more products and more plastic and more. We don't need more skincare brands. And with you, I find this so you need to find a niche. You need to find a place where there's no product at all yet. So, I think you really got it to the point.
Thank you. That's really what made me want to create Cay Skin. Like being someone who always knew that SPF was so important, and being on that set in the Caribbean and shooting from sunrise to sunset and not having an SPF that looked good on my skin as a Black woman, that made me know that, there is something missing in this industry. We need to have SPF that, of course, SPF protects our skin and, protects our skin from the sun. But I want everyone, and I want myself, to want to wear it. When I was a little girl in Jamaica, I hated wearing SPF. I hated when my dad would put that blue tone, icky, goopy stuff on my skin. But I wanted to make sure that SPF was something that you wanted to wear. It was more like skincare, but still something that protected your skin and was good for your skin.
So that's a total niche. Let's talk about the sun a little bit because, in skincare, we tend to demonize the sun because obviously it can cause skin cancer. It destructs collagen. It creates sunburn and inflammation in the skin, creates free radicals. But on the other hand, sun is so important for our mental health, for our respiratory tract, for our vitamin D production,
Vitamin D,
our joints. There's so many benefits to the sun. So sometimes it gets too demonized, and especially in the States, I find that people are very, very rigorous about it. And I think it needs to be a balance. What I always like to say, and it depends also where we are, in which climate, if we're on the beach. I always like to avoid the midday sun, and like
Same.
everybody out of the midday sun, go in the morning, in the evening, obviously with SPF.
When it's the highest and the strongest.
Yes. But we also need to say, the filters and the SPFs, they're not the most amazing for our skin. So we need to really balance, obviously we don't go in the sun without SPF. And if you live in LA, you better start wearing your SPF in the morning. And
every day, yes.
Every day, exactly. But it really depends where you travel and where you are. But let's not exclude ourselves from the sun. And one more thing, which I find very important to mention, we have a skin barrier, which is the very natural protection layer of our skin. And in skincare, I find too many products are easily to harm our skin barrier. And it starts from fragrances and products and bad alcohols and glycolic and retinol and retin-A and acid peels and all this kind of stuff, which harms
that strip your skin.
strips your skin. You know, when the product says resurfacing or don't use when you're pregnant, I would just not use it because it really damages your skin. And then those stressors from outside, whether it's sun or pollution or HUV from the phones, penetrates our skin even harsher and causes, you know, premature aging and possibly skin cancer and pigmentation issues. So I think the basic idea is to keep our skin barrier completely intact and healthy. That should be number one. And then obviously, you know, protecting your skin from sun, from the HEV light. I created, for example, the anti-pollution drops. I don't know if you have tried them. They are, you know, because not only sun is a stressor causing inflammation, pollution is, and the HEV light from the phone is. So
100%. That's why I wanted to make sure that Cay Skin, of course, it's SPF, so it protects from the sun's rays, UVA, UVB, but it also is blue light protectant as well.
Perfect.
And then also, although it is an SPF range, I wanted to make sure there was things that protect your skin's natural moisture barrier. So we have our new drop, which is Deep Water Dew. And this is a body serum that hydrates and has so many nutrient-rich benefits that are not SPF, but you wear after you've been in the sun, when you go to bed, to soak that moisture in, because you want to do the opposite of what the sun does, right? The sun takes moisture out of your skin, it draws out all the nutrients, all that. You want to put that back into your skin before you go and battle the war of SPF and sun.
Yeah, and hydration is so important. I think, you know, if you think about dehydrated skin or dry skin, it's like if you look at Earth, a dehydrated Earth has all these like little breaks in it. It's the same like skin. As soon as you have dehydrated skin, your skin barrier is broken. You tend to be sensitive, you know, and get eczema and then breakouts because bacteria can enter the skin. So hydration is really the key to healthy functioning skin. And
I didn't realize that when I was younger. Like a lot of times when I was younger, I always thought about like, I don't want pimples, I don't want this. So I'd use a lot of like benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid, all the things that soak out all the moisture out of your skin because I was so focused on acne. But you really need to protect your skin's moisture barrier in order to have healthy skin in general. I didn't know that growing up. That was something that I learned like as an adult.
But that's what teenagers think, you know. That's what they think, you know. It's like the Clearasil and the Proactin, whatever, strip your skin, rip it all off, and like da 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 da. And now, you know, that's why I also wanted to create Skin School, because during the pandemic, so many kids were not in school. And I thought, you know, it's a good way to educate everyone on what to do, what are good do's and good don'ts, you know, especially when you have like these breakout phases. And, you know, if you take hydration away with all these ingredients you mentioned, your sebum production gets actually enhanced, you know, it's just like a circle because they try to keep up. And what we do in the brand, you know, we just like, you know, always heal everything with hydration. And I don't know if you saw that we created a line for teenagers, the microbiotic line, which basically, you know, takes care of the sebum production, controls it, but also takes care of our skin barrier and of our microbiome with prebiotics.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times when people are thinking about clearing up acne and like soaking up the oil production, they don't think about protecting the rest of the skin on their face. And that comes with hydration, that comes with protecting your skin from the sun as well, using SPF and making sure that you don't get hyperpigmentation from that acne breakout or whatever, you know, skin issues that you're dealing with. You want to make sure that you're protecting your skin as much as possible.
Yeah, 100%. So I think there's a switch now in the industry a little bit, you know, because people like you and me, we talk about it, you know, to protect skin barrier. In the dermatology, they started a new term called corneotherapy, which basically says what we're doing. But then dermatology is still very old fashioned because every skin condition they treat with cortisone, with antibiotics, with lasers, whatever it is, acid peels. And last skin school, there was a dermatologist. I actually liked that very much. Who's talked to us in the chat, and she was saying, there's nothing, for dermatologists to come back to for healing the skin in a healthy way. And she's recommending my products to everybody because there's so many people, like babies, for example, who have eczema and they get bombarded with all these medications, and then they get on the Sturm baby line and everything heals up. It's like sometimes it's just to give the right ingredients to protect and strengthen the skin barrier.
For sure. Even speaking about like the right ingredients and knowing what to do with your skin, I feel like this is something that I've really wanted to talk to you about for a long time. And I feel like this is something that I dealt with too when I was, growing up. I felt like a lot of people always told me that people with darker skin tones didn't need to wear SPF. And I know my parents always told me that was very important. So sometimes I was a little bit conflicted. As an adult now, I know it's important for everyone, but I wanted to know your opinion on how important it is to wear SPF for different skin tones.
Yeah, so I personally think it's very, very important. And, darker skin tone, as I said, have more melanocytes. So they're like little umbrellas and do sun protection. So you run less the risk of getting a sunburn, obviously, but you still have, the risk of getting skin cancer. Yeah. So you don't get all the bad stuff from the sun, but still a little bit. And, the hyperpigmentation we don't love about, our skin. So yes, definitely. For every skin color, every skin type, we need to protect ourselves with a really good SPF made with like best ingredients and, feeling good on our skin. Yeah.
I also feel like sometimes people of darker skin tones don't see the effects of sun damage and like seeing like those immediate burns or the immediate wrinkles, but it can still come over time, even though you're a little bit more protected from the sun than someone who has a fair skin tone. Is that true? Or
still you have less problems in getting wrinkles caused by the sun, but still, there are free radicals which destroy our collagen and tissue. So yeah, eventually it happens to all of us. I'm more at risk than you for sure. But if you give your skin always enough hydration, strengthen your skin barrier and protect with sunscreen, I think that's good. One ingredient which is actually really, really good is hyaluronic acid, the hyaluronic serum. You're probably using that too because that's really
we
the
have
best.
that in all of our skincare too. Hyaluronic acid,
So it's
aloe
actually
vera.
so hyaluronic acid is clinically proven to support skin barrier function. So it's scientifically researched to stabilize, and it's a really good hydrator. I love it. I use it. It's like my white t-shirt. I use it morning and night, after cleansing and before using the moisturizer, and it's something I always
And you have the most beautiful skin, like that is so goals as well.
Oh, you know what? I tell you, when I was before I had my brand, I had super dry skin and I had like blackheads all the time. So I had to go and see a facialist like every 3 weeks, and I tried every product. I bought all the products she gave me and like more.
Me too.
And it was horrifying. Nothing would heal my skin. I was like, how is this possible? I tried all these brands. I wasted all my money on them and nothing helped me. And then I said, I invented the vampire facial. I don't know if you knew that, but I come from a scientific background, from an anti-inflammatory background, and brought anti-inflammatory proteins from your own blood into the skin. And so I said, I'm already doing this. I also can do a cream. That couldn't be so hard. So I created.
Yeah, no, you've done it for me as well, where you like take our own like
the blood,
blood and put it into, and it helps your skin for sure.
Yeah.
I even want to ask you some more questions too, because I feel like I have such an amazing opportunity to even learn more about skin. I'm so obsessed with skin, and like this is just, I'm a product junkie as well. Like, I try all of your products.
Like lots of us, yeah.
I want to know what you feel about like chemical versus mineral sunscreen.
That is a very, very tricky question. And I personally, and this I'm speaking for Europe. I really prefer the chemical filters because they're, you know, I think they're even less destructive to the ocean. They are I think they are better for, you know, our skin, if there's any better or worse, because, you know, I also find that they feel better as a sun filter.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
you're
feel the
using.
same way too. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? In America, for example, and that's really tricky. They haven't changed the rules, and you know that probably also very well. Since 17 years, the FDA should come up with new filters and bring some. Maybe we could work on this together and go to the FDA
I
together
would
and say,
love that. Oh my
listen,
gosh,
guys,
I'd be honored.
yeah, let's
Yes,
do it.
we should
Let's
do
do it.
that 100%. Make
I'm right
SPF
now.
even better. Yes,
I'm
I
right
would love that.
I'm working with the German government on changing some regulatory stuff regarding sustainability, because, you know, we have to change on the top, because, you know, the FDA or the law requires us to do certain things, and, you know, you can't become sustainable if you have to keep on doing the stuff nobody needs, you know. And so I like to talk to the government. I
Oh yeah,
just
I'm super
enjoy
down.
it. So
Oh, you know what? Another
ask
question
them.
that I had for you that I want to know for myself as well, because I feel like I know this, but maybe I'm wrong. How often should you reapply sunscreen?
So that really, I tell you one thing which is very important. When you apply sunscreen, it needs to really go into your skin. It really needs to sunk in, otherwise it doesn't work. It cannot sit on top or anything. It really needs to go in. Should never forget our ears, the back of the neck. Make sure everywhere you apply and it evenly goes on. It doesn't matter if it's SPF 30 or 50. There's not much difference. Yeah, there's maybe 2-3% difference. It doesn't matter, but it's important that you cover all the areas. And then it depends on, are you inside? Are you out and about? Are you sweating? Are you playing tennis? Are you swimming? Obviously, when we do all these things, which makes us sweat, and, you know, then we have to reapply, you know, after sports or after swimming. And other than this, you know, it really depends on if you're all day out in California, reapply again, maybe
Of course.
another 2 times throughout the day. And you kind of also feel it, you know, because sun also takes hydration away. You kind of feel also, you know, I want to do a quick skin routine, maybe wash my face, reapply my skincare, and then my sunscreen again. So you feel like your skin is totally protected. And by the way, I need to tell you this because it's so cool, actually. We're launching next week, this week or next week, a supplement called Sun Skin. It's a supplement which protects, it's a sun protection in it. We cannot claim it, but it's a sun protection in it. And I think it's so important because so many areas of our body, we cannot even put sunscreen on. You know, what about our scalp?
Yeah.
Ears? Some areas we just,
our nail beds, so many different places where we can get sunburned.
So in this one is, it gives you like a light sun-kissed look. So there's beta carotene in it. There are ingredients into catch free radicals. So I
love that. Do you know what? I actually had a dermatologist who specializes in vitiligo, which is my skin condition. Yeah. She actually gave me supplements before. And I feel like, yeah, they really do work. Of course, you have to use SPF with them as well. But every added bit of SPF does help.
Also, it helps when you have sun allergy. You know, if you get like allergy from the sun, it helps with this. It's fantastic, you know, and especially through the summer months, you take those like 2 a day. It's perfection together with your
can I have some?
Top pill SPF. But
can I have some?
I'm excited about
I would love to try it.
Yes, you get them, of course. But this launches this week. It's called Sunskin. And I think it's such a cool idea.
I'm very excited for that. I can't wait to try.
I cannot take credit because that was my team. But I think it's so cool.
No, I think it's very cool too. I have tried sun supplements before, and I do feel like it makes a difference. I definitely don't get burnt as, you know, I used to get before. I was so avid about using sunscreen and sun supplements, but I definitely can't wait to try this one. I haven't tried a sun supplement, a new one. I haven't seen them on the market often, but I'm very excited to try yours. I feel like it's very important to make sure that you're doing SPF in multiple different ways. You know, like we forget so many places, as you said, like your ears, like our eyes, our lips, those
Exactly.
places are so important to cover with sunscreen. And I feel like people don't pay attention to those things. Like one of the faves from Cay Skin is the SPF Lip Balm. It literally
Oh, that's
sells
so
out of,
good. I
thank
need
you. Oh
that.
my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
It sells out of Sephora literally all the time. And I didn't expect that at all. But I feel like it's because I haven't really seen an SPF lip balm that's like over
No,
15 or something like this.
it's just a
So
cheap Listex one, which which is like full of mineral oils. Nobody should use
yeah,
it.
but like you want to be able to protect those places that
Yes,
you forget, your ears, your eyes, your lips. Like don't forget those little places that go unnoticed.
absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. Let's talk about inflammation, because you obviously, you was like, dealing with vitiligo, which is an autoimmune disease, which often can be caused by inflammation. And I feel like so many of us, they don't really always take care of ourselves. So we run into a very inflammatory state. And then we
Mhm.
run the risk of getting any type of autoimmune disease. Yeah. So inflammation needs to be taken out of our system and also out of our skin. And inflammation is in the sun, pollution, HEV light, but also in our diet, what we eat, how we deal with stress, how many hours do we sleep at night, what do we
Yeah, I
put
definitely feel like
in,
when I'm more stressed, my vitiligo does move more often. So that's a
right?
very, very good point.
Yeah, because that rises cortisol in our system, and that raises the inflammation level. And also what we
Mhm.
put on our skin, can cause inflammation, starting from glycolic, retinol, retin-A, acid peels. That causes inflammation, fragrances, bad alcohols, and the inflammation, causes our skin to react with breakouts, with redness, with aging, with pigmentation, all caused by inflammation. So we can do so much with choosing the right skincare, the right protection skincare, the right diet, our sleep levels, the way we, our mental health. That's why don't exclude the sun completely, because, and that's another thing, in sometimes I feel like we're too absolute and extremist in our choices.
Mhm.
And if you now say, oh, I cannot be in the sun, or only with a big head, you
It's
also miss
balance.
out of life. What
Yeah,
about
it's balance. So it's
what
all
about
about balance
surfing?
in life,
Yeah.
for
What about
sure.
surfing? What about beach volleyball? What about all the things you like to do, tennis outside? So I think you need to make good choices with everything you do
Yeah.
in your skin, but also, you know, not being too scared.
It's all balance, like even having good skin, like, it's not just the products you put on your skin, which are also very important. The things that you eat, the things that you do, like drinking water and working out and making sure that you're protecting your skin from the sun, like all these things work hand in hand to like perfect skin. And like your hair, everywhere you see like the difference in all these things when you're really doing all the things that need to happen for your body.
100%. So
Balance.
what is your diet? What is your diet? What is, also you're a supermodel, so you always have to, be perfect in shape. You probably work out every day and you have your special diet. So
I
what
try.
is something, you pay attention to, because you also travel a lot. So you have to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you burn out.
Some things that I really pay attention to are trying to get rest, because also our skin and our body, our cells, they repair when we get that really good deep sleep. And sometimes it's very hard in all walks of life to get that really good deep sleep that we need to repair our skin, our body. But that is one thing that I think is very, very important, getting enough sleep. I don't think we appreciate sleep as much.
I absolutely agree. And especially when we're young, we think, oh, we can sleep when we're old, whatever.
Mhm.
But if we get less than 8 hours of sleep, our immune system goes down, our memory system goes down, our inflammation level goes up. So there are lots of things happening. You see it on your eyes, get maybe dark circles or bags, or you really like, sleep deprivation is not actually that good. And, it's not always possible to get that.
For sure.
But
It's
you know,
not, it's very, very hard, but I think focusing on how important it is makes the difference, you know, like when I'm not thinking about it and I'm just working and going, I can go forever. But when I take that moment to be like, you know what, I can see it in my skin, I can see it in my nails, I can see it in my hair. I know I need to take care of my body better. I know I need to get some more sleep.
That's another thing. I think we're very like sensitive. I feel immediately if something is up with my body or, you know, with our health. I feel it right away. And I think, you know, you have to be smart enough to adjust. And I'm saying this being here, like having to travel tomorrow again. It's like,
yeah,
it's just crazy.
Easier said than done.
Have you tried the darker skin tone line? Is this what you're using?
No, I've tried some things. Right now, I'm hooked on the Stinky Pimple Cream. There's like a new line that you have that's like a black bottle.
The Exosomatic. How good is that?
Yeah, I'm very obsessed. Very, very, very obsessed.
Very scientific, you know. Exosomes are like little communication tools in our skin and in our bodies, but they make the communication between cells easier. And, you know, when we age, it all goes down. And then there are also growth factors in. So it enhances and uplifts and, you know, basically upgrades our skin again and restructure. So starting this actually early is very smart to use that. But it's a super, super anti-aging tool, the Exosomatic line.
I love hearing about it because I use it like all the time. So I love hearing about what it's doing for my skin. It's amazing.
Very scientific. It's exosomes are very cutting edge. Not many people know about it. We also have an exosomatic facial in our clinics, in our spas. You're in LA right now, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you been to the spa? It's Melrose and Almond, where Acne is. And
I haven't, but I will go now.
Check it out. It's such a gorgeous store. You can just go in. You can sit. We have like these red light rooms where you can just sit and be calm and relax.
Relax. Mm-hmm. I definitely have to go and check it out because I'm so obsessed with your skincare. I feel like I have so many questions for you. Like I feel like I'm a part of skin school right now. Like I'm learning so many things, especially as someone who is new to the beauty industry. And like, while I have a passion for it and I always have, you're never too like educated to learn more. You're never too grown to like educate yourself more.
I learn every day.
Literally, like that is something that makes me so obsessed even more about being in the beauty industry, that I get to learn so much from like everyone around me that I'm obsessed with, like you. Okay, wait, so what question do I have? Okay, so in my line, Cay Skin, we use organic SPF actives. So I want to ask you a little bit more about how these SPF filters protect us from the sun.
So as these filters, you know, getting on our skin, just block out the sun, block out the UVA, UVB rays from entering, because sun very harshly has, you know, wavelength. So it needs to be adjusted to depending on which wavelengths they have, you know, and sun has short wavelengths and penetrates very, very fast and deep the skin. And this is where it, you know, causes all the damage. And the same, like, you know, for HEV light, for example, it's basically the same harsh, the same aggressive like sun. Many people just don't know about it. And they're like, you know, we use polyphenols in our anti-pollution drops, for example, which block out those. So it's basically like a wall on the skin, you know, and that's why it's so important that
wall on the skin,
that you basically apply it everywhere, because it only works, obviously, you know, if
where
it's
you put it
applied correctly, you know, that it's totally diffused in the skin, that it doesn't sit only on top, and that there's enough. So not just like, oh yeah, a little bit here and there, done. No, you need to have enough and to apply it everywhere, you know, close to the eyes.
What is the right amount of SPF to apply to the face?
You know, people say, oh, you need to have like a teaspoon or whatever. You know, every sunscreen has a different haptic, a different, you know, feel. So I make sure that it's sunken in everywhere, and your sunscreen is different to my sunscreen. So I might need to use less than mine or the other way around. So you just have to make sure that it just goes everywhere. And
Everywhere.
what I do with the sun drops sometimes, you know, I just mix it with the hyaluronic serum, and then it's even easier to apply and going everywhere.
I feel like that's what I do too with like, so I love to mix the Isle Glow body with the Isle Glow body oil.
Yeah.
And I feel like this
cool,
one, like
yeah.
this is the cream. So like, you know, when it goes on, it feels like cream. Oh, it feels creamy and like, you know, like buttery and soft. But then when I mix it with the oil, I feel like it's so much easier. And also like, I love even extra hydration from it, that it just like spreads everywhere and gives you like that extra glow.
The thing is,
so
when
I
you
love
mix the
mixing.
products together, you don't have the same SPF anymore, you know. So
But both of these products are SPF. That's why I wanted to make them both SPF, so that when you mix them, you still get the same level of SPF when you're mixing them.
That's very good. So, you know, when you mix it, for example, with the hyaluronic serum, which doesn't have SPF, you go down to maybe SPF 30. But as I said, between SPF 30 and 50 is hardly any difference. So, because sometimes we think, oh my God, it needs to be SPF 50. It's maybe 2% difference in protection, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like SPF should also, correct me if I'm wrong, be the last step in your skincare, especially for that reason too. Like, you don't want to mix them too often with other products. You want to make sure all the products that you put on your serums, your moisturizers are all there, and then seal it off with that SPF, so you're blocking, like you said, like a wall from the sun for that protection. Right. Oh my gosh, you said right. That means I got it correct. Yay. I'm getting an A in skin school right now. I love that.
You do. I'm very excited about your knowledge. No, it's true.
That makes me really happy.
But that's true, you know, it's like, you know, lots of people just like superficial, and, you know, it's easy to put a name on a product, you know, it's just, you have to do the work, you have to do the research, you have to, you know, learn about it. And that's I think that's the key, you know. If you're you know, you're also, it's your face, your product, is your spokesperson, ambassador, everybody. So people need to take
for sure. You need to, I always talk about this too, even when it comes to creating businesses, aside from skincare, when you create a business, it's something that you have to believe in. You know, like, in order for other people to believe in it, it needs to start off with something that you believe in, you love, you're passionate about. Like, I feel like that's why I'm so excited to be in skin school right now, learning even more about SPF and just skincare in general, because it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I feel like anyone who creates a business in general needs to be passionate about and love what they're doing.
I totally agree. Should we dial someone in? Yeah. Okay, let's dial someone in.
First up, we have Muskan. If you could turn on your camera and go off mute.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? I am Muskan Jaisinghani. I'm from India. So
amazing.
Thank you. That's because of you, because you gave me an advice last time not to strip off my skin too much and moisturize my skin more often. So I'm doing that. So it's healing.
Are you happy? Are you happy with your skin?
I'm definitely happy. It's glowing and it's like even now. It was very uneven from different places, and now it's more even and calm.
So
are you using SPF as well for your hyperpigmentation or unevenness?
No, actually, the question that I want to ask is about the SPF, because in India, it's now like full heat summertime. It's very hot here, and now it's changing to like monsoon. So the change has really started to irritate my skin again, because like I have changed like 2 to 3 sunscreen, and none of them really suits me. They make my skin very oily and greasy. And I don't know what ingredients I should look in a sunscreen. Like sometimes the sunscreen that I use for my body also irritates me. So my question from both of you is like, what sunscreen is best for oily and acne prone skin? Like, I know with weather it can change, but how to find a ideal sunscreen, what to look for?
I think for me, like, of course, I love Cay Skin as my sunscreen every day. It works for my skin. It works for so many different skin tones. But I think it's also very important to go to a dermatologist and check those things out for yourself to make sure that you know exactly what ingredients. Maybe you're allergic to something that's in there, you know, like those are the things that you need to test out for yourself as well, just to make sure that whatever products you get moving forward are working for you.
If you already had if you tested for sunscreens, so you got to be a little more careful, but also sunscreens mostly have really bad ingredients. So for Cay Skin, but also for our sun drops, it's really like a skincare product. It's has panthenol, it has hyaluronic acid, it has all these ingredients which soothe the skin, and not only the protection, but already helping to catch the free radicals coming from the sun and soothe the skin. So I never seen anyone with a sunburn from that sun drops. And for oily skin, and that is, I think, really important. This is what I would recommend, to mix the sunscreen with the hyaluronic serum, and get it like in a little less lipid concentrated way. It's easy to apply, but also especially when it's so hot outside, you sweat even more. You don't want to have like a very, very thick sunscreen on top, because that makes your skin possibly break out and do like things to the skin you don't like. But you need a protection, and maybe you try out the sun drops, or you try out the Cay Skin and see what works for you. I think I would try out a little more before going to a dermatologist, just because it's like dermatologists, like as I said, it's like always a little more rough on the skin. So sometimes it's better to stay away a little bit if it's not necessary.
Yeah, because I've visited like 2 or 3 dermatologists during this like 2 months only, and they have suggested me like so many different sunscreen, and none of them really work. Like 1 hour, if I'm outside, it's all oily. My makeup is like,
I
think that's also
too bad.
why Barbara and I both created SPF that we love so much, because I feel like maybe, Barbara, you have the same experience that I had, that I didn't love sunscreen. Like, I knew it was important. I knew I had to wear it. I knew the sun's rays were damaging and all these things, but I didn't love sunscreen. So it's about like that testing process, like trying different SPFs and figuring out what works for you. And that was what it was for me with Cay Skin, like creating something for the masses that could work for them.
Sure, I will definitely try both of your products. Like, it's harder to get them in India because like the shipping charges and everything.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I want both of your products to be here, like easily accessible.
We're on Nika, no?
I'm going to talk to my team about it. Don't worry. I will talk to my team about it.
Go to Nika.
Yeah, Nika, but sometimes they don't ship where I live. So they ship to metro cities, and I don't live in one of them. So it gets a little harder for me to get those products.
Maybe when you travel to Europe or the States, it's easier to get.
But I hope your products are soon everywhere and everyone can use how amazing both of your product lines are. And
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. Isn't it so fun?
Very, very fun.
I'm a medical doctor, and I didn't start as a businesswoman. I was like in service to my patients from forever ago. And so when I started doing skincare, everybody who asked me, oh, I need this and I have this problem with my skin, say, oh yeah, no problem, I will make something. That's why my line now is like this huge, because I want because I want to have a solution for everyone with skin and stuff and like hair and everything. I just keep making more products.
I love it. Keep doing it, because I love so many of them.
Okay, so what else do we need to talk about? What is your anti-inflammatory moment? So when you travel and you are like crazy busy, is there anything you do to just calm down? Do you meditate, do yoga? What is it?
Yeah, I think I like to get massages to, make sure that I'm relaxing. Sometimes it's very hard for me to relax, especially with time zone changes and such. But like, I also really love to use the deep water dew whenever I just come out of the shower, when I land somewhere and I just take a shower and I just want to be hydrated. Because especially being in like the sky so often, our skin gets dried out so much. Like, dry skin for me is like something I want to avoid, especially as you talked about when it comes to destroying your moisture barrier, and that being the basis of healthy skin. But then also, I really, really, really love the Isle Glow face every single day. I have it under my makeup right now, but I use it when I don't have makeup on, because It has so many amazing things like sea moss, aloe vera, like you said, hyaluronic acid, like all those things that draw the moisture back into your skin that the sun draws out, but then also that protection from the sun. And I also think that a lot of people don't think about wearing SPF when you're on the plane, but you're closer to the sun, especially when you're sitting beside the windows, you're so much closer to the sun's rays that like it's super important to wear it on the plane. I feel like people think like they're inside, they don't need it. I feel like that's for me the main time when I really need to wear it when I'm traveling.
It's the UVA which travels through the windows, and that is actually the dangerous one, which also causes skin cancer. You know what? I always like, you know, close the shades. It's helpful. Yeah, wearing SPF, but also pollution. Pollution is very, very bad on the plane. Radiation, drying. It really sucks all the hydration out of your body. So instead of drinking wine on the plane, drink lots of water. And you know, I just use
something that I need to switch up then, because that's not what I do.
But you know what? I know. It's like, but we forget about it. But it's really like, you know, instead of
take a sip of water
else,
right now.
Also try to not have food, just have water and sleep and whatever. But you know, I put like hyaluronic serum on my face cream on my skin every hour or so. I really rehydrate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I do it all the time.
This just reminded me of another question that I had.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to this. I feel like I know my preference, but I see a lot of TikTok trends and people on social media doing skincare on the plane. Me personally, I prefer to do my skincare before I go to the airport because I feel like there's a lot of germs and stuff in the airplane. But I feel like a lot of people do like their masks and their serums and stuff on the plane because it dries you out. What is your take on that? Do you do skincare before or during your travels?
I definitely I do it multiple times on the plane. So what I do, I go in the bathroom and wash my hands, and I'm not washing my whole face. I just put it on top and I layer on top. And you're right, it's not the most clean environment, but still we cannot afford to lose the hydration in the skin. And I have a night flight. What I put on is my hydrating face mask, and it's like a cream mask, aloe vera, kaolin clay. Put it on and leave it on, and then it goes into your skin. And then even if you sleep like 6-7 hours on the plane, you wake up and your skin is not dehydrated, because you know, when you sleep, obviously you're not reapplying products. Then we also have the face mist, and I do it all the time, because for me dehydration of my skin is never an option. It makes me feel so terrible. So on the plane I'm a real maniac.
Okay, so maybe I'll add some like
switch it up
and like
try it.
Masks. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah. So what for you are the don'ts of skincare? So what maybe your mom taught you or your grandma, what do you think is really bad for, you know, adapting in a skincare lifestyle?
Ooh, don'ts?
I say one. So I tell you one I think is really, really bad for your skin.
Okay.
Makeup wipes. You know how many people use makeup wipes and they rub the dirt in, like, and it disrupts your skin barrier. Or these these cleansing brushes. That's totally crazy.
I actually use both of those things.
Okay, so that's no more. So what I want you to use, since you don't have your cleanser yet, what I want you to use is our foam cleanser. It's miracle. So you wetten your hands, you take 2, 3, 4 pumps, you know, when you have your makeup on, and you start with your eyes, you know, and you wash your face, you rinse it with water, rinse. Take a white towel. I promise you, it will be all gone. And it's a right pH.
I am going to give it a try.
pH. It's mild, tender. It's nothing bad.
I am a big makeup wipe lover, and I know a lot of people who are in skincare hate makeup wipes. I know it's a skincare sin, but because I've used it for so long, I just think I'm in the habit of it. Maybe I need to get out of it. I think I've tried to get into using like cleansing balms to get the makeup off and then going in with a cleanser, but still sometimes I just go back to the makeup wipe.
No. Also, makeup wipes have really bad ingredients in too.
Yeah,
so
very true.
So
They're very rough on the skin for sure.
yeah, and it's, it's disturbing your skin barrier.
Mm.
We don't want our skin barrier to fall apart, and our microbiome, the microbiome sits on top of our skin. It's part of the skin barrier together with the dead skin cells and the hydrolipid film. And these microbiomes, it's like bacteria, parasites, fungus, viruses, they are like in a perfect, balance. And once we kick them off balance, you get redness, disruption, breakouts.
There's so many things to think of. Like, it's not just like we talked about, there's so many different aspects, getting sleep and like drinking water and washing your face and all these different things, wearing SPF. But I didn't even think about that. That's so true. Like, disrupting it by being rough with makeup wipes definitely could disturb it as well. That's something to think about.
Yeah, it's not just chemical disruption, also mechanical. Even a super hot shower could already disbalance your microbiome and your skin barrier. Even that, which is, people wouldn't think about it, or a cleanser. Our cleanser, for example, has a pH of 5.2. Our skin has also very acidic pH. Our skin is not neutral or alkaline, but it's very acidic, or slightly acidic. So if we now would use soap to wash our face, and soap is super alkaline, we would mess up the pH and therefore our skin barrier. So a cleanser also needs to have the right pH. And that's why sometimes we use a balancing toner, because our tap water is also very alkaline.
I always wondered why they were called balancing toners.
Yeah. So that's something, it's a balancing toner to balance out your
Balancing the pH.
which is important for our skin barrier.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah. It's like our skin is a construct which, sometimes the industry takes too slightly into, oh yeah, it's just the skin, it's just the skin.
Right.
Skin is so important, we have these dendritic
It's the biggest
cells
organ that we have. Like, I feel like we treat the organs inside so much more
Yes,
important, but like, it's a
yes,
very
thank
large
you,
organ.
thank you, Winnie.
We only
Thank
have
you.
one skin. It protects everything else that's inside of us as well. It's very, very, very important.
Did you know that the skin communicates with our immune system? So whatever you present to your skin gets translated into our immune system. So really pay attention to what you put on your skin, because it can mess us up way more in our system and our health than we might think,
Yeah, I think we only think about things like that when it comes to like, you're washing clothes and you get bleach on your hands, you want to wash your hands immediately because it can
Yes.
seep into your skin. But we don't think about it when it comes to like products and things like that, because we think like, it's products, it's supposed to be for your skin. But I think something that I've learned over the years is like reading ingredients and like seeing how beneficial those things are really for your skin. So that is definitely, yeah,
And you talk
I need
about
to think about it more.
bleach on your hands. What about all these sanitizers, the gel, like alcohol?
Alcohol.
You get forced to put alcohol everywhere on your skin. Yeah, maybe it kills germs, but it also disrupts your skin barrier where germs can actually
Dries out
enter
your skin. Yeah.
easier. All these kids getting eczema from it. It's terrible. So, wash your hands thoroughly and more often is much more, effective sometimes than, getting, these weird gel sanitizers everywhere. It's so, I don't
And if
think.
you have to, make sure that you moisturize your skin as well to balance out that moisture barrier.
One more question. How you built your brand during the pandemic, no?
Yes.
That was tricky, no?
Very, very tricky. Very tricky. Oh my goodness. I already thought that it would be difficult creating a brand because I have no knowledge about creating a brand or being a business owner. I know I have a love and a passion for products and like creating products in SPF, but the business side of it was very, very difficult. The formulations, the regulations, where they were made, the packaging, so many different things, places shutting down because of COVID. Like, there were so many twists and turns that we dealt with, especially it being COVID times. So that was very difficult, but I always felt like we should just push through because it is something that I'm so passionate about and that I believe in. And I feel like I never want someone to have that experience where they don't want to wear sunscreen because it doesn't look good or it doesn't feel good on their skin. I wanted to create something that really felt amazing to wear every single day, like SPF, but also skincare, a little blend.
So one more question about your childhood. You know, me personally, I had to hustle my entire life through, you know, I always was like, you know, very ambitious and wanted, and nothing was too hard for me, or I always put time and effort in and discipline. And I think I have the best work ethic, and I think this applies to you too. I think you're a fighter, and I don't know if you want to share a story, how you grew up, or how your parents raised you, and how come that you are so I feel like you're pushing through. I watched your career. I think we even met, you know, we met in Germany once.
Mm-hmm.
We're at this spa award thing, like
The spa awards, yes.
Yes. Like,
I love that. That was my first time to Germany ever. That was so much fun. I think I'm also Caribbean, and that's where I got a lot of the ingredients for Cay Skin as well. And, you know, like sea moss, which my family has always used, consumed, put on their skin, and aloe vera, which my grandparents used to
of
cut
course,
off
yeah.
in the
Yeah,
backyard
amazing.
and put it onto like my rashes, my mosquito bites. And I feel like just being raised by strong Caribbean Black women has always gave me that courage to persevere. Like we all have differences. I feel like sometimes people put too much emphasis on specific differences. Like I have vitiligo, so people highlight that, or like, you know, someone may have freckles, they highlight that, but we all have our differences, and therefore we all have our own personal battles. So being able to just recognize that and push through, persevere, and be like, you know what, this is my life, this is the cards I've been dealt. I want to appreciate these cards that I've been dealt. I don't need to look at it as a negative. I can also look at this as a positive, grow, learn, and excel at life. It's the way that you look at things, I think.
Yeah, it's uniqueness, and you know, you only can succeed in my eyes if you come up with entrepreneurial new things. You know, I never look right or left when I do my products. I think of the product and I do it, and I come up with a name. You know, I came up with my beautiful glow drops. Now everybody's doing glow drops. Great, you know, but you know, it's always the original with Sturm. You know, it's kind of, you're unique, you're doing something special, you're doing something new, and it's actually a nice message for everybody, you know, who thinks, you know, we need to be a copy of someone else or a copy of something else, or, you know, I think every person is beautiful itself, with the flaws we have, with the good things we have. You know, sometimes our hormones make us bigger than, thinner than, whatever. We cannot really, you know, we cannot really control everything, but we have to be so grateful for being healthy, for having a life, and and
That's it too, being
what we
grateful
got.
too. Being grateful is a big factor in life in general. Like you can look at all the negatives in life, but what are you grateful for? There has to be things that you are grateful for in life, even through the worst moments in time. So being able to just reflect on those amazing things that you're going through.
Thank you so much. You're
Thank you.
an amazing woman, and I continue watching what you're doing. And if you have any questions or I can help you with anything, you just come.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much. I will do for sure.
Good luck with everything. Big kiss. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching today.